Okay, I think I'm live. Oh, yep, I think I am. All right, so let's get off of this screen. And move over here. Hey there, my name is Matt Williams. I'm a I make a lot of videos about n8n and about Olama, and what else do I do? I do a bunch of things. Oh, you probably don't need to see these things. These are old Post-its. Get rid of those. I'd hate to have actually something interesting on my wall. Anyway, so yeah, I make a lot of videos about, let's say, n8n and Olama. And I had a little stream I posted a few minutes ago. Really just, oop, I have the wrong microphone. There we go. That's a little bit better. I One more thing. I did a quick stream a few minutes ago, really just testing out this mic, because I got a mic for free. I did not expect to see this microphone. Um, I don't know anything about it. It's a Shure MV7 Plus, which I think is a kind of nice. Um, yes, I did. Um, uh, I think it's an okay mic. It's not an expensive mic. Like, well, it's not cheap. It's, I think, $299. It'd be interesting to see how it compares to my other mic that's over here, which I can't actually get to, which is a Heil PR40 that I've had for a couple decades, and or how it compares to my mic that's downstairs, which is a Sennheiser MKH50. But it was a nice free mic that came in the mail, unexpected, and in fact had no labels on it. I mean, other than a shipping label. It didn't say who it was from. It took actually opening up the box and seeing who sent it to me, n8n. In fact, one of the folks at n8n said, "Hey, I got to send you. I have something I want to send you. Can I get your address?" I gave him my address, expecting to see like a T-shirt or a hat. Certainly not a microphone. So that was pretty exciting. I kind of blown away by this. Totally not necessary, because I do make some videos about n8n. I'm perhaps a little bit less frequent, frequent than I would like. But yeah, there we go. I hear something. Let me close the door. Yeah. So I made that stream. I thought, I gotta. It's kind of nice having a microphone up here. I don't usually do anything from up here, up in my kind of upstairs office, normally, other than editing videos. That's what I do here, and build out whatever I'm building out. I thought it might be nice to do a stream, especially since this mic, I did a test, just listening to the recording or to the stream. It definitely doesn't sound as echoey in this room as it actually is. So that's pretty cool. So I thought, let's actually do a stream about something I'm working on. And recently, I watched a video by Aprilynne Alter, and which is an interesting name. Alter, I guess, sounds. I don't know. Does it sound German? Alter. It kind of reminds me of. There's a chef, a cook who's an author as well, Kenji Lopez Alt. And, it's got like oh, hold on. Yes. Yeah? What's up? Sure. What time is your call? 5:30. What time is it now? 4:50. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Has to be picked up. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we'll go at 5:30. Okay. Okay, so I found out that I started to stream and I don't actually have a lot of time. So let's try to do what I wanted to talk about kind of quick. I don't know, who knows if I lost people because I disappeared for a second. Um, I found out that I need to go to pick up the CSA by 5:30, and as well as Kitsap Fresh, which is where we also get some vegetables from. Anyway, so I watched this video by Aprilynne Alter, and let's switch to. Yes, I can't. I'm using the Motive Mix app. I just turned it on, and took a look. It looks pretty cool. But let's see. Let's go on to this screen. So here's this video. Let's turn the volume down so we don't hear it. That's probably. And so she goes through this kind of plan about resetting your YouTube channel. And one of the things that she suggests, which I thought was kind of fun to do, is to start watching. Let's see, where does it get to? Watching a bunch of videos and then seeing what you think about it. And so somewhere along here, she talks about coming up with what she calls a swipe file, and for each one of these items, basically make a record of the screenshot of the thumbnail, as well as what do you think of the title? What do you think of the thumbnail? What do you think of some of the things that she also talks about in other videos is, do they create a curiosity gap and all these other things that you want to create. And so, okay, so even if you're not interested in doing that, I thought you might be interested in basically. There are lots of ways I could have done this. I could have done this through just copy pasting the thumbnails, putting them into Apple Notes or into Obsidian or wherever, and I don't know. I think one of my problems is that I like to automate. And so I thought I'd automate it. And so I ended up creating this workflow. And so, yeah, we're on screen now. And it's pretty simple. It's storing everything in NoCoDB. So one of the other things I make a lot of videos about, in case you're not familiar with my channel, is I make a lot of videos about kind of home labbing on a hosted platform, which is Hostinger, that I have up in the cloud. And on Hostinger, I've installed n8n as well as NoCoDB, as well as a whole bunch of other things. And so let's take a look at this workflow. It starts off with a webhook. So you can see the URL that you go to for this webhook. You would need to have the right header in order for this to work. So I'm not too worried about you seeing what the URL is. But what triggers this webhook? Well, if I go to, let's just go to her, this thing. I can click on this little extension that I created. So I also created a quick extension. I just, kind of vibe coded it. And when I click on this, it brings up this, this dialogue. And I can put in, well, how long is the intro length for this video? Is it a great title? Is it a great thumbnail? Does the first sentence of the video actually match up with the title? Does the first shot of the video match up with the thumbnail? Which is something that you might want to do. Or does it create curiosity gaps? Oh, let's stop her. Does it create that curiosity gap? Does it, what else is there? Provide context. I can't remember. Oh, what and why should I care about this thing that you're talking about? Did you show that it was a lot of work to do? Did it take, you reviewed 700 videos or 700 n8n workflows to come up with this thing? And are you actually showing the results, not just talking about it? And that's definitely a problem I have with a lot of my videos. In the first, well, the intro section, which should be 30 seconds or maybe 45 seconds. Sometimes my intros go long. And sometimes I don't show. Usually I don't show. I just kind of tell and talk about it. And I think I need to do that better. And how long is that intro? And what do I think about the title? Did it work or not work? What about the thumbnail worked? What are my impressions of the first 5 seconds? And so I'm collecting all this information, and maybe I will create some description of why the title worked, and then click on save. Oh, looks like save webhook no whoop. I don't know what that's up with. What's up with that? Looks like maybe I broke it. But if I open up this again, I have that saved from before, so it shows that information again, and so forth. So this is great. You might wonder about where's this outlier index coming from. So that's if I start off with using Spotter Studio. So I also use Spotter Studio. And one of the neat things in Spotter Studio is, I think I'm in as this guy. Nope, not that one. Okay. Nope. Okay, log out. Okay, close. Log out. How do I log out? Let's try that again. Log in as this one. Okay. So one of the neat things in here is outliers, where you can look for outliers in your channel or other channels that my audience also watches, and what are the videos that are kind of popping more than others. And so I'll grab this index, this 3.9x or 9.4x, and paste it into that dialog. So that simple extension that I created triggers a webhook at the end, and that webhook just basically first goes into a database, looks in NoCodeDB, and looks to see if that video ID, or if there's a row in the database with that video ID. And that's all it does. And if it does exist, well, actually, no, if it doesn't exist, then go through this workflow up, or this branch up here. So first thing we're going to do is get a bunch of information about that ID. So I get the video ID, which I get from the webhook, and then get information about that video ID. So this is using the YouTube API. And then what does this one do? Oh, so in that information that you get from the YouTube API, it lists the URLs for each of the thumbnails. And so I go ahead and download the thumbnail, and I write that to a directory on my file system for n8n. And then I go ahead and create the rest of the row for this database, or for this video. So I create a new row with the video ID set to whatever video ID was in the webhook. If there was a title to the video, go ahead and put that in, as well as the channel title. Of course, there's going to be a title, but title and channel title, also post that into the database. And then respond to the webhook And so when I open up that webhook, before I have a chance to fill out any information, it does this branch and then returns all the information it knows about the video, and returns it to the extension. And so that's why, that's where it's is able to find the saved information. But then every other time that I run it, that same extension, it's going to go through here and say, oh, well, that row does exist. So let's just update the row. And all it does is basically grab all the information from that extension, from that form, and add it to my NoCodeDB database and return all the information back to the webhook or back to the extension. And that's it. It's pretty simple. And to create that extension, I just went into, I use Windsurf. Some people like to use Cursor as this. I don't understand why people like Cursor over Windsurf. It made sense at the beginning because, I mean, Cursor was out first, but Windsurf pretty much destroyed them with their features. And although now now maybe there is a reason to use Cursor, because who knows what's going to happen with Windsurf. It was looking like they were going to get acquired by OpenAI, and then they didn't. And then the CEO kind of took a really awful deal. I mean, amazing for him because he was given what, $2.5 billion, and kind of left the rest of the company high and dry. And then they got acquired by the folks making Devon. So that's a bit sketchy. So maybe there will be a reason to use do not upload for 23 days, I believe, is a soft reset for YouTube's algorithm. Yeah, I sometimes I'm bad about posting. But anyway, this is basically the extension I came up with. Let's see, how am I doing on time? Okay, good. I'm doing good on time. Yeah, so I just wanted to have an excuse for doing a stream where I actually talk about this. How many people are here? Oh, sounds like my daughter might be at the door. No? Okay. What else did I want to say about this? I guess I should have come in with a little bit more to say. Let's see, what else is interesting here? Let's take a look at that database. So if I go into my database, the Swipefile, here we get to see the videos I've looked at so far. It automatically pulls out the video title, and then my title review, thumb review, first 5 seconds, and all that information. And often the ones that are the higher outliers tend to, in most cases, be the ones that actually did all those things. So that's pretty cool. So what is n8n? That's a great question. So so if you just saw Aprilynne's video and want to automate it, is this the right solution? I don't know. Probably not. Because if this is your first introduction to this, n8n is kind of, I mean, I love it, but it's a lot to take on. So I've done a few videos about n8n in the past. It's all about automating whatever it is you do. And so you can trigger a workflow, but based on something that happens. Maybe an email shows up in your Gmail or Outlook mail, or maybe it gets triggered by a form that gets filled in, or maybe it gets triggered by a new contact in, I don't know, SAP or in 20, a CRM, or any other CRM that it has integrations with. And it has integrations with a lot of stuff. And so um, let's add another trigger on an app event. So all these things, and there's a lot of them. It just, I mean, we're into B now. So you can kind of scroll through here, and all of these things could trigger a new workflow, a Facebook leads ad trigger. I don't know what that means, or something in Git or GitHub, a new issue, a new PR, a new task in Google Tasks, a new post in Hacker News, something in your Home Assistant that triggers it. You know, lights go on in the sensor at your front door triggers the lights to go on and therefore trigger a workflow. I don't know, Jira, or all these things can trigger a workflow, and then it's each of these nodes. It basically flows left to right, and you can have it run the next node. And so in this first node, I'm getting information out of a database, and then the next node, I'm looking at that information and saying, is it new or is it not new? And then route it accordingly, and I can move on to other nodes. And there are just, I don't know, there's thousands and thousands of these. Thousands? Okay, there's thousands, hundreds. There's probably over 1,000 nodes available, and each of those nodes has a lot of different things, like video, the YouTube node. It can do things based on all these different resources, and once you have a resource, you can get a specific video or get many videos or rate a video or update a video or post a video. Uh-oh. There's a lot of screaming going on. Okay. Um, hopefully everybody's alive. So hopefully that answers the question about have I built other n8n workflows? Sure. Well, yeah. Let's take a look at some other workflows. So I do, I used to use a tool called Buffer. Buffer was something I used for sending out tweets back when it was called Twitter, as well as to other social media platforms. And I also like to be able to, write something one time and then have it go out to Twitter or to Blue Sky or Threads or Mastodon. But also, I mean, also, Buffer doesn't really customize for each platform. But what I ended up doing was, oh, there's a lot of screaming. I have this pulse. Actually, no, that's not very good. So I have different web pages that are the initial trigger. And then if you hit that web page, you fill in what you want to post, it'll post automatically to all four of my main social media places. And if I need to post about a new video that I've got, it will it'll go to all those places. So that's one one of the workflows I have. This is one where it will, based on a script that I have, go ahead and read through the script and generate 10 tweets or social posts, and using a local, actually using Olama to generate that text, and then add it to my NoCoDB database, and then those get scheduled out over the next few weeks. What else do I have on here? I do a stream every week with a colleague, a former colleague. I used to work at a company called Datadog, and actually scheduling the stream, I would sometimes forget until like 5 minutes before the stream. And so this thing, every Thursday, I think, it will go ahead and schedule that stream. It generates a brand new thumbnail using, how do I do that? I'm using Image Magic to generate a new thumbnail, and then creates a broadcast, creates the stream, and then binds the broadcast to the stream, which is what you have to do with YouTube, and grabs a thumbnail and sets the thumbnail. So that's another one that I do, which is amazing. And then it also announces the stream. So this is something that gets sent out on Monday and Tuesday morning. And then this one, 15 minutes before the stream, it posts out, hey, you might want to pay attention. Here's the stream. And so that automates that. And so each of these things probably saves me 5-10 minutes each one, but they just happen automatically, which is magic. Let's see. Does that answer your question? What else do I have? Stream prep, social media, YouTube production. And this is actually on one of my, I have a few servers because I do videos about n8n. I actually have a few different n8n servers, and each one I have different workflows, which is a me problem. But anyway. All right, well, it sounds like based on the increased volume of screams from my 6-year-old downstairs, and my wife about to go to a meeting, and me needing to go get the CSA, I think I need to stop now. I know it's this was shorter than I expected. I expected to do this for like an hour. But yeah, hopefully this was interesting. Hopefully you got something out of it. And if there's interest, I'm actually not even if there's interest. I am going to go ahead and make a more polished version of this video post. I just wanted to kind of I want to get the my initial thoughts out. Yep. Okay. I think I need to go. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Finish.